Today, we're going to make even better Dollar Tree decor. I'm Brandy, and this is Making It My Own DIYs. Welcome. Before you watch this video, I want you to check out the link in the description box below or the pinned comment and go watch that video first. The Hurricane Glow Up is our first one. We are going to start off with this goodie that we made in the last video. You're going to need some artificial flowers, whatever kind you like. I did get these cone flowers from Dollar Tree. Whatever you like. This is a wooden lid from a candle. And then whatever type of moss you want to use. You can use bagged moss, you can use Dollar Tree moss. So in the last video, I did use hot glue just to show you how to do things quickly, but I did recommend that you use something like E6000 or something that is more friendly for glass. This time I'm going to show you how to use this double stick tape. I use it all the time. I do have the link in the description box below if you're interested in ordering any, but you can get this, I think it's called alien tape at Walmart maybe. So it's double stick. You're going to stick it to the surface of the piece and then stick that hurricane glass right on top. And just to show you how strong it is, yeah, it can take a lick and keep on ticking. We're going to disassemble the parts that we're not going to need on this lid. So I'm just pulling off the little ring and I'm going to remove this label. I'm going to use the double stick tape again and I'm going to cut it this time into little narrow strips. And this is what we're going to use to place the bottom of that stand right down on top of that candle. The candle topper. So I am going to stick it where it's sort of overlapping. And the reason I'm doing this is because of the shape of the bottom. There's really no flat surface for you to glue this down. So using this tape in this way is a really good sturdy way, and I will show you that, to hold this in place. I've seen that double stick gel type tape at Dollar Tree as well. It might even be called a mounting tape. Yeah, but I didn't get it and I've only seen it one time. So I just get mine from TEMU. You see that it's really going to hold that, and you don't have to worry about what is hanging out from underneath because we're going to cover that in moss. So my idea of this was to make it more of like a spring-like piece. I mean, you know, you can do whatever season that you like. So whatever season it is around, or if you're around a birthday party or a wedding, you know, you can do this certainly to match whatever style or occasion that you have. I'm just using this reindeer moss and going around with my hot glue to press this into place. Some of the mosses that you get that are preserved, they're sort of damp and they might not stick very well. Just keep that in mind. Make sure that your moss is dry. You can leave it out for a little while and let it dry also. I'm just going to press it down. Using a pretty good bit. You're probably going to want to put your glue gun on a cool temp or not the high setting, because you don't want this glue running everywhere and risking burning your fingerprints off. You can use your finger protectors because, you know, I want y'all to be safe, safety first, because you want to have no excuse to not be able to finish your projects. So now that we've got that covered, it looks nice and wild, sort of like my hair in the morning. I'm just going to brush off what is falling off. I'm going to leave some of the wood showing. It's not going to be uniform. Then I'm going to start with my flowers. Now I chose just to use the cone flowers and not use the other ones, but you can certainly use a variety or you can use just one. I thought maybe it would make it a little more simple and easier to understand if we just went with one. I'm cutting these stems in different lengths. Some will be taller than the others and some will be a little shorter. I popped the top off of one of them, so I'm just going to fix that by taking a stem, cut a little section off and put it down in there. Now I'm going to take the flowers and start putting those down into the moss. The bottom of that stem is going to sit down into that moss and help stabilize it so it won't fall over. You won't need any foam or anything like that. Use your cool temp setting on your glue gun so that the bubble doesn't run off when you put that little bead or that little bubble of glue on there. I'm going to stand it in there in the moss to make it look like it's growing out of the ground and lean it up against the side of that metal stand. You can use a little bit of glue on the stem behind the flower to help hold it in place. And I'll be doing that with the ones that are sitting close to the sides. The one that are shorter are a little bit easier to do. If you are learning anything so far in this video and the last one, I thank you so much for being here with me, and I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel. I am working on a silver play button this year, and I can get there only with your help. But just do that, if you're learning something on the channel and you're here because there's something that you like. Okay? All right, so you can see what I'm doing here. We're putting these in different lengths, almost like, you would find them in nature. One's a little bit newer than another one. One's been there longer. Some are tall, some are short. That's how they are. That's just kind of like us girls, right? Some of us are tall, some of us are short. I'm going to lay this one almost to the side, add some glue, and then press that into the moss. If you don't use moss, you're going to have to use some type of foam or something that you can have a base to hold your flowers up. It looks like a little stair step, doesn't it? Very easy to do. Doesn't have to be uniform. Now, most of the things I do are not symmetrical. You know that if you've been here any length of time. But I encourage you always to make it your own. And whatever way you do it that you like, it's going to be perfect for your home. Right? Of course. So you're just going to add as many flowers as you like, and then you're going to reserve one flower. So keep one of your little bouquet for something special. You can do just one side. If you want to set this in the center of a table, do both sides. That way from all angles it's pretty. You can see how I'm going to take a little of the glue on the back of the flower. And remember, these are on metal, these little wiry stems, so all you have to do is bend them. If you want to flex the head out just a little or bend the head to the side, they don't have to stand straight up. Give it just a moment to sit up there. And then in that little area above, between the glass hurricane and the metal stand, we're going to add some more glue and some more moss. Just going to tuck that right in. Protect your fingers. You can use a popsicle stick, whatever you like. If you don't have a hurricane type top like this, or you don't have this shape, it is totally fine. Whatever glass candle shape that you want to go on top, it's totally fine. Make it your own, y'all. Make it your own. Keep tucking, keep pressing that in there. And this is really taking this from something that was very simple, just metal and glass that it was in the last video, to something that is so much prettier. Now at this point, if you want to drop a little flameless candle in there, you can do that. But if you want to go a little further, you can add some glue down into the candle. Be careful when you do this that you're straight up and down with the glue so that you don't get it all over the sides. Peel your little webs off like I have to do. And then you can use something to press your moss down into that glue. You're going to want to work fairly quickly with that so that it will stick. Nice. Now we have a nice bed for the little flower we're going to put down in the middle. So I'm just going to use a floral wire. That's what this is. The ones that are individual, not on the roll. And I'm going to use this to help me place this down inside of that candle. Because I'm going to be putting glue on here, right on that end. And I need something to hold it in place, but something that will easily come back out. So this was part of my experimentation. I know it's going to work because I gave it a dry run. So there, I'm going to put that bubble or a little ball of glue on the end. Carefully, without touching the sides, plunk it right down in that moss. I'm going to hold that for just a moment to give it a chance to stick and for the glue to cool. And then when I feel like it's been in there long enough, I'm just going to use a little stick, use whatever you got, and I'm going to hold the flower while I pull the wire off. Now you can use the same stick or straw, whatever you want to use, popsicle stick, and you can press those petals down on your flower, depending on the type of flower you have. If it's something smaller, then you don't necessarily need to do any of this. But for me, I wanted to make sure that my flower looked like it was very neatly sitting down in there. Always look at that project from all angles to make sure that you're getting the look that you like. Okay, you know what? If I had a bee, I would put a bee right in the middle of there, but I don't. So I've got some little cardstock butterflies. The orange one here is from a large pack from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use this right down in here, just a dot of glue. going to drop that butterfly down in there and then press it into place. And there you go. That would be so pretty to me at a baby shower or maybe a luncheon or at Easter in the middle of a round table. So pretty. Yes, I really hope that y'all like this one. You can do this project. This is just sitting down in the middle of a little wreath that I use for, you know, taking my pictures. It's sitting down in there. You could certainly do something like this too. But this is really a way to elevate something. Now, you did the first step in the last video, so you were ready. When you get your pieces, you get your flowers and your moss, you can move on to this next step. And you could use a bee inside yours if you wanted to. Or if you wanted to skip all that, you could just put a flameless candle down in there, and that would be pretty as well. The next project is going to be our Moody Duo Glow Up. Going to go back to that same pack of butterflies, cardstock butterflies. I've found these 2 packs of very pretty flowers at Dollar Tree. These are the 2 pieces that we made in the previous video. I've taken my stickers out and we're going to start off on this one. I love about this the fact that the colors are very similar and that there is gold edging all around the flower, like gold accents. And I love that because we're going to do a little something to the frame that is going to coordinate really well with this. So this is pretty much just playing sticker books like we did when we were little, right? When you were a kid and you were in school, if you were in school in the 80s, I'm pretty sure you had a sticker book. If you didn't, then you had one of every type of sticker you could possibly imagine, including scratch and sniff on your Huffy bicycle. I know I did. We had a unicorn gang. That's what we called it. We rode our bikes all around the neighborhoods together, just running amok because, you know, from daylight to dark, you could do that back then. And we had stickers all over our bikes. Plus, we had folders with stickers, and we had stickers on everything. Just sticker, sticker, sticker. So it makes me very happy when I go to Dollar Tree and I can sit down and dig through a pile of stickers. Love it very much. Not to mention the fact that, especially with the stickers that you can get these days, they're so beautiful and there's so many different things you can do to elevate or change a project. I am not following any particular pattern that was already on here. I just making sure that I don't cover up my birds, right? I didn't want to cover the birds up. Look how nice the colors look together. Now I'm going to take some of this gold rub and buff. I haven't used this very much, so I'm still experimenting with it. I've got it all over my hands, obviously. I'm just going to use a little bit on my finger and just kind of put it here and there. There's no really rhyme or reason to it. I'm just putting it here or there. Just kind of brushing it on with my fingertip. If you want to use a brush and do some dry brushing, you could definitely do that here. Or you could just leave it off. Maybe you have some acrylic paint. You can paint right over that black frame. All that was a mirror from Dollar Tree. You can paint right over it. If you don't like the distressed look of it, you can paint the entire thing gold. You can spray paint it gold in the first steps of making the project. You certainly could. Totally up to you. This is so easy to do. And I think that doing it this way really changes the look and shows you the dimension that's inside of that frame. Just run it around the rings on the inside. There's so many elevated areas and dips in this plastic frame that's really brought out by this rub and buff. I like that so much better. I hope you do too. But now, of course, we have to have a hanger, right? So we're going to elevate the hanger too. Now, this little belt looking piece that I have came off of a bicycle basket. Yes, a bicycle basket. This is how you attach it to the handlebars of the bike. But our bikes are long gone, but I still have the straps because, you know, I just keep random stuff. You know how crafters do. But on one side, it's like a regular patent leather. On the other side, it's like a, you can see there, it's kind of brushed, like a suede. And I thought, well, let's use the suede side instead. Now, the little holes on there are going to allow me to use some push pins to attach it to the wall. Let's move on to the next one. Now you can see I'm recycling these butterflies. They've been used in other projects. Got some more of those stickers because I didn't use them all. These beautiful stickers that I found in a haul recently, and I picked up a second pack of them. These colors are speaking to my little Forever Fall Home heart. And here is this picture. Now for her, I had something much more impressive. Now these flowers also have gold trim, so it's staying with the theme of the set. I'm going to use these big pieces and really change the scale of that beautiful whatever that is she has going on top of her head. She's got a scattered mind, y'all. Her mind is all over the place, but she's growing flowers and she's being productive anyway. Feels like me sometimes. How about y'all? So I'm going to place these gorgeous flowers just overlapping here and there. And I'm going to even press some into the side of the frame. I'm going to score it just a little bit. Press it down because you can tuck things under the edge if you want. And I'm just going to kind of cut it. This little piece that's in my hand, this little tool, came from Dollar Tree. It's a weeding tool from Dollar Tree. If you want to get one of those, they're a good multi-purpose tool. And I'm just going to continue around with my flowers until I get the perfect piece for her. There's also some greenery pieces, and I'm trying to cover up the blue that was under there because I'm not doing the cool tones. I'm trying to stick with my theme of colors and sticking with the ones that are very similar to what's going on in the puffy stickers over there. I love this. I think it's very nice. I actually prefer it to the tiny flowers that were already on her head, but those were pretty too. Takes all kinds, doesn't it? Oh yeah, I like that much better. Much better. So now I'm going to take my little puffy stickers. I'm going to trim one side so that it sits flush against the edge. She already had on the canvas a flower like hanging over, and I just replaced it with this one. And we're really going to add some dimension by putting these, we're just sort of layering the stickers on top of each other. It's such a cute look. Just, in my opinion, if you don't like it like this, you certainly do not have to do it like this. There's so many options with stickers, y'all. Think of all the ways that y'all could do it with a couple packs of stickers. Maybe even just one pack. Now, because I want to add a butterfly or two on here, I'm thinking of where I might want to add them. Keep in mind when y'all are crafting, you don't have to stay inside the frame. Give it some dimension and come on out of the frame. Let's make this butterfly look like she is flying out of there. And just bending it in the center, just kind of flexing it in the center, adding the glue, and just pressing down where the glue is going to allow those wings to be free so it looks like the butterfly is just lighting on it. They are white on the back side, so just keep that in mind. You might want to double them up if you decide you want them to be really high up. And then we'll set this one down right here on her neck. Much better. I really wanted to try to use as many of the flowers off of the sticker sheets as I possibly could. So I'm just continuing along here. I pull the stem off of this one. I'll pop this one down on there. Just like when I tell y'all when you do floral arrangements, pick your piece up and look at it from all angles and see, how it looks and if you need to change or add anything. A little hot glue is going to make it even more stable on the edge, and it looks like the butterfly is flying over. I just lifted the wings up above the flower when I sat it down. I wanted to experiment with these brushes. I got these from TEMU. I wanted to give them a shot and see if they make any difference when you use Rub and Buff, because I just destroyed my fingers. They really don't. This is more of a pouncer that you would use with stenciling, but it works. You can use it, but I think I did a better job just doing it with my fingers, right? You really have to put a lot, and then with a sponge, it kind of soaks in, so the product's kind of wasted, it seems like. So, it's up to you, but I just want to show you that if you don't like to get your fingers dirty, that's totally okay. You can use brushes or other things to kind of get them together. By the way, y'all, today is my birthday. I am 52 years young, tickled to death. I sat at home and watched some documentaries. It's just crazy business. That's what I did. And I'm of course doing this voiceover because even though it's my birthday, that doesn't mean I can get away with not working, right? That's exactly right. All right, so we're going to use the other part of that little belt, and we're going to put that on the back of this one. Just going to add hot glue. You can use the double stick mounting tape, whatever you want to use for that. Let that sit up. And then there is that set, elevated to another level. Here it is. One of them I put on the wall, and there is it's like a bronze looking push pin, but you can use a thumbtack. You can just paint it. This one, I didn't have a place to hang it, so I'm just sitting it there, but you kind of get the idea. You can hang it the same way with a nail or something like that. Major difference. The next is a frame duo glow up. I can't get my words out, y'all. I think it's time for coffee. This one is so easy. So I've got some little crystals here. This one was actually a pull off of a drawer or a jewelry piece. I don't even know where I got that from. I'm going to add hot glue in the little well where the screw goes and apply it to the glass. Now, I'm using hot glue. I recommend you use something that is going to stick to glass like a super glue, but for the video purpose and the time that it takes, to show y'all beginning to end, I used my Gorilla hot glue. Okay, so we're going to have these two pieces. One is going to be a decorative piece. I'm going to use this beautiful crystal. You can get, this is like a Christmas type thing, and I'm pretty sure I got it when I was thrifting. I can't be definite, but you can get stuff similar to this at Dollar Tree around the holidays, right? Something like this, or a snowflake. I thought, well, let's just pretend, instead of it being a crystal, like maybe that is ice. Maybe that could be ice, right? So we have a decorative piece and a functional piece, because look at this, y'all. You can hang your bracelets off of that. Wouldn't that be beautiful on your vanity to put your bracelets on and just have a really pretty piece sitting there to look at when you're getting ready for the day? Oh, this one was so simple. Almost not even really a craft. But you got to think about what you have time for and what you can do. And I really, really love the way that these turned out. Very simple, but elegant, I think. Now we're going to do the ring holder glow up. So this is what I made to put my rings on. You want to fill in that hole, you absolutely can. I did not do that here. I'm going to show you a little something that you can do that is going to be super cute for the spring, I think. I'm going to take some of the sandstone chalk paint and go all over this. Now, I should have mixed up my chalk paint a little bit better. It's kind of streaky, but it worked out in my favor. I chose this color because I want this to be similar to what concrete would look like. So I'm adding this all over here. I'm only going to add one coat. Really quickly, I want to say thank you to my 20-ish members for my channel. Y'all are absolutely wonderful, and it touches my heart that y'all are continuing to stand by me through all of this and just supporting my channel. Your membership fees help support me and my family and this channel while I had so much downtime during my divorce and moving and things like that. So there were several months where I just put very little work out, and the money helped. It helped tremendously. So I really am very grateful and thankful for y'all for that. I just wanted you to know. Okay, so once it is finished, we're going to go over with this is just my little dryer tool here. It's a heat tool, but you can use a blow dryer or you can just let it dry on its own. You want to be sure before you put your second layer of chalk paint on that it is cool to the touch, because it's going to get warm when you use heat on it. Let it cool first so it doesn't lift when you put your second layer on. Now this little trick is something I have been doing for years. You're going to take a Dollar Tree bath sponge. It's a round bath sponge with a string on it. You're going to cut it into wedges or whatever kind of piece or shape that you can handle with your hands. And I'm just going to take a little section like this. You want to cut off all of the straight edges and angles because you want it to give you a nice, even, soft application without a bunch of lines. You don't want a pattern, right? So I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to tap down into that's a grayish color there, and I'm going to just put this all over the top. I'm not looking for solid coverage, and I am not going to wipe this. I want the dark that's underneath to continue to show in some spots. the sandstone to show in some spots, and then the gray to help cover up other areas. And to me, this looks exactly like concrete. You know, if you really wanted to do it up, you could add a little bit of green afterwards. You could make this look mossy, totally up to you. Again, make it your own. I cannot stress enough on this channel. Y'all are so creative, and I want you to make it your own, okay? I'm just going to go all over, all around the rings. If you want to be particular, then get in between the little top and the pedestal piece and get that all duded up there. You know, paint it too, fix it all up. You can use a string around there. You can use something to block that off so you can't see the dimension. Totally up to you. You're going to let that dry. And it does have a little bit of a raised texture, so, you know, perfect. All right, I'm going to use some Type Bond Quick and Thick. This was an experiment for me. It dries clear, so I thought, okay, we're going to give it a shot. I am putting some of this in the bottom to make it look like water, because this is going to be like a bird bath, right? But then I thought, I don't want to just leave it like that. I'm going to add some of these blue stones in there too, because I want to give it a little bit of texture and dimension, almost like maybe it's kind of wavy, because we're going to put some birds in here in the end. If you don't have miniature birds, don't worry about it. Let me show you what I did, and y'all promise not to laugh, but I'll show you what I did. Okay, so once I get as much as I want in the bottom, and I tried to make it even, like water would be even instead of like dip down in the middle. That's what I was going for, because it would drive my mind crazy if I did it any other way. And I'm just going to gently press. And I'm not necessarily patting, I'm pressing this down. As the glue starts to come up, it's going to stick to your fingers, and the rocks are going to stick to your fingers, little pebbles or whatever. Totally up to you. If you don't want to do it this way, look, y'all, if you have some blue glue sticks or some clear glue sticks or some resin, you could do that. Let that dry, and then see these two little ducks? My daughter had the idea. She saw that I had bought some things, the little miniatures from Dollar Tree, to do my fairy garden, and there happened to be two little ducks in there, and she said, Mama, why don't you put the ducks in the bird bath? Y'all look at this, and I didn't even glue them. I just set them on there. Isn't that something? Out of the mouths of babes. I love y'all, and thank y'all so much for stopping by today. I'll see you soon. Bye.